Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome, welcome. Very glad that you're here with me this afternoon. Today we're doing holiday gadget and gift ideas, so very glad that you're here. Got a little light from outside our window. But it's sunny and shiny outside, so I think that's okay. All right, very glad that you're here with me this afternoon. Let me introduce myself if you haven't been in one of my other classes. I teach, my name is Alex Cooper. I teach the computer classes for the Columbia County Library in Evans, Georgia, in Harlem Library, and also the Grovetown Library. And of course, we're staying home, staying safe, so we're doing all our classes virtual and online. Okay, so very glad that you're here with me this afternoon. As you come into the classroom, just say hello. This is one of our special fun classes. One the big thing about this is that just trying to get some kind of ideas for, Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, and trying to figure out exactly, what someone may like or want. This is the right place. So this kind of goes along with our internet shopping and digital couponing. Okay, so let's go ahead and as folks are coming to the classroom and stuff, let's go ahead and start with, feel free to post any kind of questions that you have into the chat. Happy to answer your questions you have. And the big question I usually start with is, how can I help? Okay. So do you have any questions about our topic? Have you tried to get some holiday ideas, want a little bit of help, a little guidance or something? You're in the right place. Happy to help. Just ask a question. Now I'll go ahead and list some of the other classes that we have coming up. So this is our last class for this week. And one of the things we have coming up, we only have 2 days of classes next week. And those classes are going to be on the 24th. We're going to be doing an eBay, buying and selling, Facebook Marketplace, buying and selling. And all these kind of lead into, buying stuff for the holidays, getting a gift for somebody. And on the 25th, we're going to be doing our final 2 Scratch Thanksgiving classes back to back. On the 25th at 11 o'clock, we're going to be doing Let's Make a Turkey Feather Catch Game, which is a lot of fun. It goes a little bit more advanced than our normal Scratch, but of course we'll walk you through it and everything. And on the 25th at 2:30, we're going to be finish up with our Let's Draw an Animated Turkey. We've only done that class once this month, and it's a lot of fun. So that'll be one of the things we'll finish out Thanksgiving with. And then, or month of November, I should say, with. The 26th is Thanksgiving, so we won't have a class then, and we won't have any classes the rest of the month. So do realize we want to go ahead and let everybody know that we will be posting our new schedule next week, so definitely be on the eye out for that. On a side note, I know that you may be getting the free ebooks and free audiobooks and stuff. Just know we've switched over to a new service, which is called Libby. So as long as you have your library card, you can get free ebooks and audiobooks through the library. All you need to do is install the Libby app, And don't search for Columbia County Library, Evans Library, Grovetown Library. When it says what's your library, say Greater Clarksville Regional Library System. Okay. And then choose Georgia Download Destination and enter your library card, and then you should be good to go. I personally am very excited. I was able to get one of the books I've been meaning to read. It's a bunch of short stories, and they're all read by different readers, so it's kind of interesting. On the side note, our library is open with limited services and hours. Curbside hold pickup is available. It's a wonderful service. Make sure to thank the librarians for doing that. You can go to gchrl.org for details or call into the library with questions Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Right now we're having a subscribe drive. If we can get 100 subscribers to our YouTube channel, we get our own customized YouTube address. Okay, or you can search YouTube for GCHRL videos and our channel will pop right up. Okay, so we'll come back here. Hello, I'm back. So basically this is a pretty fun class. The interesting thing about this is so it kind of connects up with the class we did yesterday, which is our internet shopping and buying and selling. Excuse me, the internet shopping and stuff. So hang on one second. Let's see. So I'm going to post this into the chat. So before we get started, does anybody have any questions? All right, it's loading, and I'm going to post this into the chat as well. So give me one moment. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to cover as that continues to upload. So this is kind of an overview of what's kind of available, kind of what's recommended as a good gift this year. We also will pull up the gift guides website. I have some of those listed in here as well. And okay, it's trying to open it. Hold on. Okay, it's going to think about it. Okay, so let's continue here. When that uploads, then we'll cover it, okay? All right, so we're going to do our outline here. We're going to talk about laptops. We're going to talk about laptops and notebooks. We're going to talk about Ultrabooks, iPads, Android tablets, Windows tablets, where it's called the Surface, okay? Ebook reader, digital cameras, flash drive, portable hard drives, streaming devices, free HD digital TV from an antenna. That could be a great gift, maybe save a lot of money through the next year. And also talk about recommended websites as well. So let's go ahead and let's start talking about our notebooks. And let me see if that link is available yet. One second. Yay, okay. Now, all right, so I'm going to post that into our chat. And there it is so that you can follow along with me, okay? All right, so let's talk about our different laptops and stuff, and I'll disappear so I'm not blocking the screen, of course. So let's talk about laptops. Now, Interesting thing is in the other class, I did mention, I'll mention here as well. Do realize that a lot of the manufacturers' websites will actually have really good deals. Okay, I personally have gotten a really good deal from one of the manufacturers' websites, and the really great part about it too is I could actually customize it because it was a brand new laptop. More than just going to the store, Best Buy, Walmart, Target, and seeing what's available. The manufacturer actually allowed me to customize it and upgrade the hard drive and a few other things too. So, and it was actually a better price in going ahead and getting that taken care of, and then later on upgrading anything later. Okay, so do realize that. So what to look for in a laptop? Okay, do you realize there's different types of laptops? There's one for business. There's like a budget laptop. Those are the ones that you might see on a Black Friday paper for like $350 or so. The big thing is it can be hampered by, it could be an older laptop. It could be hampered in a way by speed, which we'll talk about the processor in just a second. Or there's kind of one that's a little bit more of an all-purpose. Okay. Also another one like is a gamer one, but mostly I don't talk about those because those are really, you have to look at their views and of course see what the person really wants. Okay. Also talking about battery life is a really big one too. So let's talk about some good specs for our laptop. Do you realize that the latest generation, there's actually two companies that make CPUs for our laptops. There's AMD and then there's Intel. I usually stick with the Intel one. It's a little bit easier to understand the processor speed in those as well, and they are the #1 manufacturer. So that's what we're going to talk about. Their current generation is the 10th generation. So if you go into a store, you should see a sticker on there that says something like Intel 10th generation. You might see where it says i3, i5, i7. 10th is the latest generation. Okay, so and I do recommend, at least for business, make sure that you get an i5 and above. Okay, i3 can be a little less speedy. The processor can not have all the functionality. I won't go into that, but just realize that the i5 10th generation has a good all-around, all-purpose use. Okay, the latest operating system for PCs. Macs are their own situation. They'll definitely tell you what the latest version of that is. But Windows 10 is the latest version, so make sure it has the Windows 10 on it. That lets you know that it is a newer laptop. At least you want 5 gigs of RAM on there. The screen size is more or less your personal choice. Okay, 16, 17 inch, 15 inch, 14 inch. For myself, I like 14-inch. Size screen because it's the laptop as a whole is a lot smaller and usually lighter versus just 1 inch bigger on the screen, and it makes it a little bit easier, more compact to carry. Okay, the other big thing is to make sure it does have USB 3 on there. There are some laptops. The newer laptop I purchased does have the new USB-C on it plugs, but you want to make sure that it does still have USB plugs on the laptop. The newer laptop I purchased actually only has one, but I actually have a thing that I can plug into it, and it actually allows me to plug 4 of the normal USBs into the USB-C plug. So just because a newer laptop may not have like an HD adapter or HD plug right on the side, you can usually get an adapter or a cord or something to convert. Okay, so just kind of realize that. And there's also other ways. If you have a whole bunch of USB-C, which is the newest version, there can actually be a little converter that you can plug into the normal USB plug. Okay, so just do realize that. Now the big question is, do you want a touch screen? You don't have to get a laptop with a touch screen. I personally don't really use the touch screen much. My newer laptop does have a touchscreen because that was kind of the class of laptop that I wanted. I don't really use it much at all, but that's perfectly fine. Some special things are the keyboards backlit. What could this do? Well, you could possibly be able to watch TV, watch a movie with friends or family, have the keyboard on, and then you're not disturbing anybody with having a really, really bright light on, maybe just kind of a background light. We should always have some kind of light going on if we're trying to do anything like reading or anything like that. A big thing too is to make sure that if you are paying, if you do have the money to buy it, make sure you are getting SSD hard drive. So what is the SSD hard drive? Well, SSD hard drive stands for solid state hard drive. It basically is a camera memory card. It can scan and read faster than a traditional hard drive. Okay, so here's our traditional hard drive here. And this is our solid state hard drive. You'll find out the laptops are more responsive, everything like that. I will tell you this, there are basically some it looks like a full laptop, but the processor says something like Celeron or Pentium. It may seem like a cheaper price, a better price. I do not recommend those. It's a very underpowered laptop. All that's going to happen is you're going to be frustrated with the speed of the laptop. That's why I definitely recommend the 10th generation i5. Okay, so let's look at some of our reviews of our best laptops. I like cnet.com. Pull that up real quick. This is actually a page that is kind of constantly updated. So anything new that comes out or anything, they'll actually come in and post something new. So this is CNET, which is basically a news tech site. Go through here, they'll talk about great deals, and they basically talk about their recommended. I've actually bought 2 laptops based on their recommendations and haven't had any problems with them at all. Okay, so if I scroll down here, you'll actually see some recommendations, 2-in-1. And like I said, this is actually a page that constantly, their top laptops are constantly updated and stuff. Talking about the Mac, this is the current Mac that's out that they recommend. We're going to talk about the Surface in just a little bit here. Here's another Mac. Best laptop on a budget. They're talking about an Acer Swift 3. Best Chromebook. Cheap gaming laptop. They're talking about a Dell. Best laptop with a larger screen, LG Gram 17, it says. You can go in and read the details about that. There's your best work laptop, Dell Latitude. It likes that one. And it has the i5 on it, as you can see. Lenovo really like those laptops, the 2-in-1s. There you go, Lenovo Yoga. They're very thin, lightweight. Here's another gaming one that they recommend. Of course, you can see the full reviews and everything. So that's a great resource to look up, and it kind of can give you a little bit of a ballpark of what kind of laptops to look for. So, and the good part about it is, like I said, some of those are manufacturers that you could actually go to their site, see if they have a good deal, and you might even be able to upgrade certain things if that's what you're looking for. Okay. All right, so we talked about laptops. Let's talk about our Ultrabooks. So the term Ultrabook, what is that? And it's kind of what we've just seen a minute ago. So Ultrabook, the big thing about that is you're paying for it to be light and portable. Most have a great battery life. It may be cheaper than most other laptops too. Stylish design. The cons, it may have no CD drive. Okay, so these may not have a CD DVD drive. Do realize you can get a CD DVD reader that plugs into the USB if that's what you really want. The big things about some of these ultra portables is that they may be something like this Yoga ThinkPad or the Lenovo Yoga. It'll actually bend all the way back, so you could actually just turn it into a tablet if you wanted to. And you can actually have it stand up, and it has a touch screen. So let's say you're looking at a recipe in the kitchen or something, or just wanted to play a video and have your laptop just sit on the table or something. So very popular. Let's go ahead and let's talk about our iPad. So the big thing about the iPad is there are different sizes, and I'm talking about some cheap tablets here in a little bit too, and ones that I like to recommend. So big thing about the iPad, being able to surf the internet. Could this really be your main computer? It depends on what your main work is. If you can do all the things you need to do, if you have like the Office 360, so the Microsoft Cloud service or something, if your business only uses the Google Drive and the Google Docs and everything online, that's very possible. They're trying to get it more and more, but do realize an iPad does not have a USB port in it, so it's not like you can just plug in and transfer files back and forth easily. Okay. Things that's still more kind of a secondary device. Surf the internet, check your email. You can read books and paper. You watch movies, apps, and games on there. Some games or apps that may not be available on a laptop or something. Of course, the big cons: no USB, like I just said. You have to use the keypad. It is a virtual keyboard, which is difficult. Okay, you may want to do an add-on keyboard. They actually have some that will magnetic to an iPad. Okay, big thing is it can be expensive. Some cell phone companies sell these, so you could actually get maybe a better deal. Maybe a better deal for them. And I have the website right here. Maybe like a monthly payment plan. So this is Apple's website where it actually compares the different generations and different models. So these are all the current models, and it also will talk about their price as well. So this is a 12-inch. There you go, right there. So basically, again, unless this was something that you really, really wanted, do realize an iPad, you could spend less money and get a laptop, a more traditional laptop, to be able to do business with. All right, so they talk about screen size a lot on here, how much RAM it has, and pricing as well. All right, so let's go to our next page. Let's talk about our Android tablets. So for Android tablets, we have our Pros. Price, most are cheaper than an iPad. Okay. The main thing that you do is to surf the internet. Okay. To read books and papers. I'd say everything I've talked about so far, supports things like Libby and our other things that we provide with the library. Apps and games on there as well. This is a special version for kids, which when I pull it up, we'll see that. The cons, each company has a different interface. It may run some of the same programs. I've had folks come into our Gadget help, and they're trying to get it to run on they're trying to get the Google Docs to run on a cheap Amazon Fire. Amazon Fire does not support Google Docs is currently, as at least I know of. And the big thing about that, so, okay. And hello, Abby and family. How are you? Okay, so Abby says, do you have a suggestion for first and second students learning from home? Excellent question. Okay, so of course the big thing is to make sure that whatever, online system that you're using, some of them you may actually require you to download certain software to be able to use. So that's really the big thing. So, of course, a main laptop can take care of, all of that if it's a Mac or even a PC. Okay. The biggest one is just to try to think about in the i5 family. The 10th generation is the latest version of that with Intel. But some of these Android tablets, or even maybe even an iPad, may not be used for school. That's the only negative thing about them. In a second, we'll talk about the Chromebooks and the Surface. But a lot of it's due up to what you're using online. So if you have to see your requirements for the online school, some of them do require special software to be downloaded that can only be used on a Windows 10 PC. So if that's true, it kind of limits you to basically having a laptop or having a Surface product, which is Microsoft's product, which we'll talk about that in just a second. Okay. So can you give me, if you know any more little details or anything like that, I'm happy to help. But that would be mainly it, because some of the things that may be very open to be able to checking the classroom, posting to a discussion board or something like that. But if you have to do any kind of online testing, I know some of the schools and colleges and stuff are getting really specific about, for certain tests, they have some really strict software that even basically watches you. I've heard some interesting stories, watches you while you take the test and tries to keep an eye on your eyes. And if you turn your head for too long, it thinks that you have left or something. So that would require a real, Mac, real PC to be able to run that software. So most of you have to look and see what kind of software it's going to use. But checking email, just logging into a website. Of course, anything that you can get to make your work faster is better. So, it can be a chunk of change, but of course, a real, laptop to be able to do schoolwork on is probably the best solution. Okay. That or a Mac. Okay. All right. So, kind of the iPads and the Android tablets I view as a second or maybe even, a second device. So the negative things about them, of course, are they can have different interfaces. Like I said, the Amazon Fire is great, but I've had folks come into the Gadget help, and their big thing is that they can't use Google Drive or Google software to do work. They have to actually use the browser, which is very slow because it's just a cheap little device versus like an iPad. Where if you're trying to do that on an iPad, you could actually download the Google Drive software or an Android device that has the main Google software on there for Android instead of like a secondary cover, I guess you could say. Okay, first and second graders. Okay, so okay, good. Um, a tablet could do, again, you'd have to look and see what the restrictions are, of course. But the big thing is that, first second, okay. So you have to see what the requirements are. If they are very specific about what browser to use and stuff like that. These tablets like this, or the Amazon ones I'm about to talk about, may be too slow. Because the idea is this is just something kind of smaller. The sad part about it, these get so cheap. Usually during the holiday season and stuff, the price of these get down even to like $40 for like a 7-inch tablet or so. I bought a family member one of these a few years ago. Then I bought myself one, and all I can tell you is that it may not be the best on doing work or anything like that, but it will, play Netflix and it will play, Hulu and Pluto. You can check your email with it, and you can install certain games and stuff too. Again, the only thing about the first and second grade is you have to find out what kind of software that they require. Okay, that's really the biggest thing. But mainly a mainly a laptop, or Mac could take care of all of that situation. Of course, and then you have a real keyboard to use as well. Okay, so usually during, let's go ahead and look at our reviews here for our Android tablets. And these are 2020. Good. So it switched over. So again, some of these may pop up. So Google, this is an actual Pixel slate. So if all your work was being done through, and you just needed something that was like a good Chromebook, something like this could be a good buy. Now, the problem with this for me personally is there are some Chromebooks. So what's a Chromebook? Chromebook is basically, it doesn't have Windows in it, and it basically just runs Google software or stuff from their app store. Okay, so for me, buying a Chromebook for like $800 doesn't make a lot of sense, because if you spent that money on getting like a Dell laptop, then you could still do all the Chromebook stuff. You'll have a faster processor, and you could also have Windows 10. You could download any software that you needed. So I don't really recommend these pricey Chromebooks, or even the tablets that are really expensive, unless you are really specific. I would probably recommend getting a Surface instead, because for $800 you can get a really good laptop, and of course get a really good Surface too. I'll show you that in the Microsoft tablet, and it runs Windows 10. Okay, here's the Amazon 8. So if we look at that, so this is a 10-inch one, and it's showing $150. No, not right now. $150. And the big thing about that is that if you go up here, you can actually get things that have a smaller screen. Here's like a 7-inch here. I had a comparison before. Hang on. So here's a 7-inch right here. Talking about $50, and a lot of the times during the holidays and stuff, they'll even drop it to $45 or $40. I've gotten a 7-inch in the past for just $40. And like I said, these are really kind of a secondary. It's a reader, listening to music. It's not really something that you would use a lot for school. Okay, so probably not a big recommendation on it. They do sell a kid-friendly version of it, as you can see there, that has a really nice casing, and it'll hold it up as well. There we are. So it's talking about the different prices, the power on it. But again, this is not a replacement for a full-fledged laptop. This is something that if you do work on it and that works for you, that's great. But you still want to make sure that there is a full-fledged laptop available. Okay, so let's go ahead back. So let's talk about our hybrid. So now let's talk about our Microsoft Surface. Okay. The big thing about a Microsoft Surface tablet is that it does do real world work. And I believe I had, let's see. This is the other Amazons here. Okay, so that's not what I want. Did I list? Let's see. Hang on one second. There it is. So here's the Microsoft Surface, and it's interesting because it actually lists it in the best tablet category, even though it has a keyboard that comes apart. The reason I believe they do that is because they're actually considering this a laptop, because it does have Windows 10 on it. Okay. It is one of those where you could probably get a cheaper laptop someplace else that has like a Windows, has Windows 10 on it as well. So just kind of realize that. But it does do Word, it does do PowerPoint, it does have a USB plug on the side of it. You can surf the internet. You You can read books on it, of course, packed with Microsoft. Has a magnetic keyboard if you wanted that. The starting price on some of the services is like $6.99. So if you really want a tablet and wish that Microsoft made a tablet product, I guess that's a good way to say it. That's basically what Microsoft has done here, is they're basically making a tablet product. Okay, so this, you can do real work on it. Like I said, it'll have a plug-in. It has a real version of Windows 10 on it. The only problem is you could probably get a laptop that was a little bit cheaper. Okay, so it depends on what your needs are. They have a whole bunch of accessories and stuff. So let's kind of look at it real quick. We have like a little video to watch.
I got my own laptop? Oh.
It reads your fingerprint.
Wait, really?
That's so cool.
The design is amazing. It's very thin, too.
Check it out.
Whoa.
Did you know it was a touchscreen?
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, that's super cool.
Mine's pink. What? Mine's blue, of course. It's lightweight. This computer is literally made for me. I'm so excited to use it.
It's really cool.
This is my favorite gift I've ever received.
I can't believe you got these for us.
Hello, me.
So as you can see, it already kind of starts being cheaper than the iPad, but it has Windows 10 on it, so it does allow you to do a whole lot more things on it. And they actually have one that looks like it is more like a laptop now. I guess that would be, which one is the one we looked at? Yeah, there you go, Surface Book. So it looks like it does have a laptop keyboard connected to it. But it's a Microsoft product, so, and I've heard that this is I don't personally own one of these, but I've heard that as far as Windows 10, it's one of the best Windows 10 experiences out there. So if there was anything school related, you could download it and install it, and there you go. All right, now a Chromebook is something that seems like it should be, that it starts out very simple, and then it has gotten more and more complicated. Like I said, the Chromebook, if anybody says, hey, we need to do things in Google Docs or Google Drive or anything, you can do all those on a Windows 10 computer. You may just have to install the free Chrome browser, and then you'll have access to everything. So again, going back to kind of a normal laptop, having all these fancy things going on. But I will tell you this, I would not recommend an expensive Chromebook because it's so limited with what it can do versus buying a real laptop and still being able to do all the same things with the Chromebook. Now, I do know this. I do know that a lot of schools have actually connected up with Google. So there's actually some generations of students that maybe if they didn't have a laptop at home, that if they use their laptops at schools or whatever, the only experience they've had with the computer may be with a Chromebook, okay, which is interesting. So there you go right there. Interesting. I don't know if I would fully recommend it, but some people really like them. It does something that needs to be online all the time. You can do Google Docs, any apps that you can run in Google, the Google Chrome browser, you can run on here, but you can also run any of that on just a normal Windows 10 PC as well. Okay. There's kind of our picture there. So the Surface, want something very light, specific, but again, kind of like what I showed you, you can do that too. But this is a Microsoft product, the software and the hardware. All right, so let's talk about our e-readers a little bit. So our Amazon Kindle, Nook, and everything. And I did mention in our other class that Black Friday has Their sales papers are out and everything now. So if that's something that you have in mind, want to look at all the sales papers, basically recommend blackfriday.com. And you can see all the papers for Walmart, Best Buy, you know, all that kind of stuff, and see what kind of deals they're running. The only negative thing I can tell you about some of is that some of the things that they'll show, like on the front, really, like there's a 70-inch, it is a Vizio, but it's a 70-inch, looks like big screen TV for $478. Do you realize they're not going to have 1,000 of those? So sometimes it's very limited what they have on the front, or what their big sales paper is to bring people in. I assume some of these stores are going to be doing some kind of safe shopping or maybe limiting. I've done a Black Friday sale about 2 years ago at a Best Buy, and they basically had everybody standing outside. Everybody got a number. They were limiting the amount of people to go inside, and I just assume that they'll do something similar so everybody can stay safe, and while they're outside, maybe stay 6 feet apart. So limiting people going in the store on the these Fridays deals, it may make it less crazy, I guess you could say. See, there's Dell Black Friday sale right there. So blackfriday.com is a great place to look. All right, so let's talk about ebook readers and Amazon Kindle Nook. So this is a great gift for somebody if they read a lot, okay? They still may love their their real books, of course, but maybe they're going out and they just want something that they can kind of put in a bag, read outside. As you know, she is reading outside and it is daylight, and she can still read because these are ink based. This is a different kind of screen. It's not LCD. It does not have color. It's usually black and white, maybe kind of grayish at some point, so it can kind of do a bit of a grayscale outside for pictures. But the pros or the prices are really cheap on these. It really is just a reader. Some of these have a web browser on it, but you don't want to browse the internet doing that. You want one of these. It'd be better to do it on your cell phone or whatever if you have a smartphone. Read in bright sun, no glare. It's ink based. Great battery life. Some people have them. Some of them are built around having it for a month or so. Many have built-in Wi-Fi, so you can download new books. Okay, and download a new book using the Wi-Fi, and you can download, if you have books as PDF, you can download it or upload it to the device like a PDF reader. And a lot of them have a glowing background, so you could actually read at night. So imagine being in bed, you want to read something, don't want to have the light on, disturbing somebody. You can actually have it turn on the backlight and then read. So the cons are no color, okay. Some have no app store. It's literally just a reader, okay. And some of them start off pretty cheap at like $79. So this makes a really great gift. And let me show you. So if I go here and let's see. Oh, I want to see the Kindle Reader right now. Or usually have a big list here that I can click and it'll just show like everything they have to offer. So here's all their e-readers. Okay. Okay, then maybe that's what I need to do. Okay. There it is, e-reader. So Kindle is by Amazon. There are also Barnes & Noble does one too. And you see we kind of have there's cheap price ranges in here. And again, if you go in, and usually during the holidays at some point, they'll actually do a big price drop. So do realize that. It's just a reader. It's just for you to be able to, read outside. Okay? So if you have someone that's a ferocious reader, this could be a really good gift for them. Even if they do have an iPad, that may hold them back from being able to read it outside when it's sunny or on the back deck or near the pool or something like that. All right, so let's go ahead and let's talk about digital cameras a little bit too. So what kind of camera do you want? Okay. So some good ideas, and let's see if I can pull up our list here. There we go, 2020 Best Camera and Gear, recommended by CNET. Good place to get you started. Here it is, the GoPro Hero 8 Black. Editor's Choice, Best Camera, High Flying, Entry Level Camera. So let's talk about different types of cameras, okay? So a compact camera, here we are right here. It has a small zoom on it, okay? Easy to carry and use. The cons of it, it's a short zoom, poor quality, and options. So it could be limited. Now I do know some of the more expensive iPhones that have come out are still coming out with some kind of lens part, but still, believe it or not, these would have a better zoom on them. Now let's talk about the mid-range camera. How can you tell it's a mid-range camera? Does the big lens come off? No. Okay, it's a mid-range, basically glorified point and shoot camera. Okay, so it has a much better zoom, better photo quality. Okay, options, the cons, it's bulky, need its own bag, may have expensive batteries to work properly. I've had one where it said it could just use normal alkaline batteries, but I really think most of our newer models are probably just all using rechargeable batteries now. Now this is the expensive option, the full DSLR. During Black Friday, usually there's places that have deals for a better camera. There's even places like Costco or Sam's or something like that, which will have a bundle. Look for a name brand like Rebel, Nokia, of course. And Canon or any of those companies. So the big thing is that it's like for pros, we're still talking about $500 is kind of the cheapest of these. Professional grade camera. Cons, of course, is our price. Changing out the lenses, zooming in, taking those pictures, professional, type. All right. So let's talk about some other ideas. Maybe somebody that's even a student or whatever, maybe looking for a flash drive, portable hard drives. Okay. Some of them are text files only. Some of ours have gotten really cheap here, of course. So, from $7 you can get the 64 gig ones. Lots of pictures, lots of video on there. You don't really need to get any bigger for that if someone's just saving documents to stuff, to be honest. A little flash drive. Now, if they're saving, trying to back up their hard drive, trying to back up a trip of pictures they went on, that's completely different. The bigger, the better that you can get. Okay. Hello, Dr. Emmy. How are you? Okay, I've got a great list. It's going to be one of the websites for our CNET, and it is going to list some of the top free hottest gifts. That's what I kind of recommend. So yes, I will include that in just a minute. That's a great idea. All right, so we're talking about external portable hard drives and stuff. The bigger gig size, You know, but it can be easy to break. It has moving parts in it. So you still may want to stick to a smaller SD card style memory card to be able to give to somebody too. But this will hold a whole lot more data in it, but it can have some issues, so do realize that as well. All right, so let's talk about some of our streaming services and devices here. So looking for a family member that maybe wants to save some money on their monthly cable bill. Maybe they're trying to save a little money. Well, maybe cutting the cord could be a good choice for them. We do cord cording classes. I've got some of them still up and available if you look back in our list of classes on our YouTube channel. But here we are right here. Let's talk about it. So this year, Chromecast, Google Chromecast is actually coming out with a newer one. It actually does have a remote. Past Chromecasts did not have a remote, so this should make it a little bit easier, a little bit on par with our Rokus. Absolutely love the Rokus. And of course the big thing is all we do is we plug it into our HDMI plug on here. Some of them you can actually control with your cell phone or a tablet and then stream or cast stuff to the device that plugs in. Talking about some of the places, Chromecast, different services, live TV, compatible stuff. Like I said, I go into that a whole lot more in our cord cutting class. Add more compatibility. And that's our current, the new Chromecast that just came out.
This is Chromecast with Google TV. It's a handy streaming device that plugs right into your TV. It comes with a voice remote, so you can be like, find action movies. And it will show you all the action movies on one screen, no matter which one of your streaming services they're on. So no more, wait, where is that movie? Google TV is great at helping you find exactly what you want to watch, even if you don't know what that is yet. What should I watch? So, yeah, that's Chromecast with Google TV from Google.
Now the Roku actually does do something similar as well. So they're, I wouldn't say playing catch up, but they are trying to, you know, be at least kind of equal to the the devices that are out there as well. Okay. All right, so let's keep moving. We'll talk about our Roku a little bit too. So the Roku, now some people really like the Amazon Fire Stick. It's similar to the Roku, and a lot of the times, again, any of these devices, there usually is a bit of a sale during Black Friday that you can get a little bit cheaper too. Usually the Roku sells 3 different models, kind of a high-end model one, a mid-range one, and then the mid-range will have like a volume control, a power on and off for the TV, which is definitely worth getting the mid-range one, trust me. A much cheaper one, the remote doesn't have voice search, and you can't turn the TV on and off or turn the volume up and down. So just a little bit of paying a little bit more, trust me, it's really worth it. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's look at that real quick. Ah, there we are. We're talking about sale. It's already trying to show us about a sale, isn't it? So let's look at our Roku players. So here's our much cheaper one, the Premier one, and then we also have our Express. I like the price range, looks really good. Looks like they're having a Black Friday sale here, but trust me, I fully recommend getting the one that has, even this one is very nice as well, but it's still, trust me, worth it getting the one. Do you see the power button there on the top? That means it will turn the TV on and off. So the big recommendation of is the one that has that feature. And it also has the voice control as well. These are great entry level. They'll work just the same as this, but trust me, this having that feature of turning the TV on and off will make, and the volume up and down will make it essential for your home. They also sell an Ultra one for people that are getting into 4K and all that kind of stuff. And there are some other stuff that they're coming out with as well. Okay. But usually it's just three main kinds. Okay. Looks like that one does have the power and the volume up and down. And it looks like it's a special sale at Walmart. So it's a little bit different. It's not a stick. It just plugs into the back. But it does look like it has the voice control and the other. So this is probably a really good deal right here. Okay. Some of them actually allow you to plug in headphone jack. So if you want to watch TV and not bother anybody. But that's kind of an extra thing too. All right. So fully recommend that. It's a great product for the family. It's a great way that you can save money. And I'm a big, there's the cord cutting. We talk a lot about the free ad-supported services. One of those is Pluto TV. Has lots and lots of TV channels, lots and lots of movies and stuff too, constantly being updated. Actually has a Star Trek channel, CSI channel, and it also Star Trek, CSI. It even has like a Doctor Who classic channel. So fun stuff, binge-worthy stuff, Dog the Bounty Hunter, all kinds of stuff. And it really does support, the Roku really does support pretty much any channel that comes up. And it has Peacock TV on it too, so you can actually install that on there as well. Another thing that's pretty fun is basically if you like listening to music or anything, one of the Echo Dots is a great purchase. The newer Echo Dot that has come out, it actually has a built-in speaker to it. You can ask it, and if you want to go more advanced than that, there are, of course, you have a device like this, and then there are ways that you can actually plug in to control lights in your house, and that also means that you could turn the lights on and off while you're gone as well. So that could actually be a good security issue. Coming back to your house, didn't realize that you didn't turn on the living room light and you're going to be walking in the darkness, then go ahead, pull out your cell phone, do Alexa, and that works with Android or iPhone devices. Tell it to turn the light on, and there you go. You'll be good to go. And also play free radio and stuff like that. All right, so let's talk about our antenna a little bit. Again, this could be one of those things where you're trying to help a family member, trying to help them cut the cord in some way, get their cable bill down to free or off. The Roku actually comes with the free Roku channel that has lots of movies and TV channels on that, ad supported. And the Pluto, a lot of folks that may not be, that may be enough for them for what they want, and then just watch the local news and the local national news like ABC, CBS, Fox, and there you are right there. Watching the Super Bowl for free, watching the Masters for free, watching, all these really big sporting events that come on the main channels for free. So an antenna, this is just a little bit of a short too. Of course, in our cord cutting class, we go into it a whole lot more. Okay. Biggest things to know about antennas, if you're inside, how far are you from the signal? Well, how do we get to know this? Let's talk about what channels we can expect in our area of Evans, North Augusta, CSRA, situation. Augusta, North Augusta. Well, we should expect the local ABC, CBS, NBC, the local Fox, the local CW, the local Me TV, which is a fantastic channel. Lots of classic stuff, lots of fun stuff on Saturday nights to watch as well. PBS Kids has a 24-hour kids channel, PBS Knowledge channel, and of course there's things like Grit TV and Bounce, which just show movies. Most of the time they're showing movies on there. Westerns, just big action movies, all kinds of stuff. So how do we know what kind of antenna do I need to get? Well, if you go to dtv.gov or antenna point, you can type in your zip code, area, your address or anything, and it'll tell you how far away you are from North Augusta. North Augusta, high atop Thunder Hills, where our signal comes from. So when you go into the store and it said 25-mile range, do you live in Augusta? This might work for you. Live in North Augusta? This would probably work for you. Need something that sits on top of the TV. However, you further from that, then you probably need to get involved with the range up here, about 60 miles range or so, which would actually lead into how far away are you from the signal. If you can put it outside with no trees, as high as you can, that really is kind of the best thing to do. Okay, that'll give you the best reception, and you'll be able to get the clearest channel of everything. And also, the antenna point dtv.gov will tell you which direction heading you should turn, and there's lots of apps that you can use that too. The only thing is that an antenna sometimes can become a hobby. Just realize that. All right, so let's talk about some tech, other toys, and then I'll pull out our kind of our buyer's guide that we were kind of talking about a little bit ago. Great tech toys. A great recommendation is someone what kind of headphones they like. That's a great gift for them. Some can be very inexpensive, $30. Some can be really expensive, $200. So you have to kind of figure out what your range is. But it's a great gift of price for most people, would be very appreciative. Fun things like little game systems, minis, a Switch Lite. Basically, it's come out this year. Anything kind of game related. There's two new game systems that have come out. A PlayStation 5, a new Xbox have come out, but that is in the $500 price range. So realize that. And some of them you have to kind of maybe talk to figure out exactly what they're kind of looking for. Other great things to come on is you can't beat a good drone. Fun things to play around with the little camera on there. Some of them can even connect up with our cell phone, so you're controlling them in that way. Okay, this is a really, really big one, a USB battery charger. So you have someone that seems like they have a whole lot of stuff going on. They have a lot of electronics or whatever. A good battery charger could help them. Seems like their cell phone battery is dead all the time or something, or is almost dead. A good battery to help charge that could make their day. Oh, good, I need one of these. Or maybe even a new cord for their cell phone or something. That could be a really good, could be a safety issue too, trying to make sure that their cell phone's charged and everything for safety. All right, so let's talk about some other stuff, and then of course, we'll do our buyer's guide. So a Raspberry Pi. What's a Raspberry Pi? Well, if you have someone that's kind of a tinkerer, likes to do electronic stuff, is interested in electronic stuff, kind of all ages we have going on, because there's lots of different projects that you can do. It can be like a movie player. Load up your favorite DVDs and stuff on there, rip them to the device. You can play that. You can also use it as a small little personal computer. They've come out with a version 4, which is the latest, and it actually comes out with 2 HDMI outputs. Now, if you do run anything on here that's like a PC based with the mouse and the keyboard and everything, realize you'll be using a Linux operating system, so it's not Windows. But what can you do with it? You can surf the internet. Chrome, you can load things like a Chrome cast, not Chromecast, but Google Chrome. I got that backwards. Google Chrome web browser, and then do everything you need to with that. And it will allow you to connect up, basically turn it into like a little bit of a Chrome browser, Chromebook, if you could say. They start off at $35. They get a little bit more, the average probably with the kits, because the $35 doesn't come with the power supply or a memory card. We're probably talking about $60, $65 or so, depending on what you get. You may want a case with it and stuff, and just use an old monitor that you have, and a USB keyboard and USB mouse. Lots of fun projects you can do. Great for computer projects like TV media player, arcade game machine. They talk about it's capable. It wants to do lots of fun stuff. It can run 1080p movies and stuff and then do spreadsheets and stuff like that. So raspberrypi.com, .org. And it's kind of tinkering device. They've actually come out with a new device that actually has the keyboard built in, which is kind of neat. So you plug it in and it's trying to be more like a full computer. But remember, you are running Linux, which is not Windows, which is not Mac based, but you can run most software and go to any website that you kind of have planned. Okay. But this also allows you to still tinker because it has the plugs on the outside as well. Okay. So it's kind of a learning device. That's kind of what its goal is. And there's all kinds of really neat resources on their websites about projects that you can do with the Raspberry Pi, games, being creative, getting started with your Raspberry Pi, learning Python, learning Scratch, creating websites, all kinds of fun stuff, great resources, all through the Raspberry Pi Foundation. All right, another thing to do is talking about gift cards. So gift cards may seem a little bit not as personalized, but if you did get somebody a gift card to maybe one of their favorite stores, maybe there's an item you know that they really need to pick out, but you want them to get it, a gift card from a certain store can help a lot. Some of these stores, they'll even, if you go into the actual store, get a gift card. It may have some kind of a card. If it's like a makeup store, it may have like a compact or whatever, and that could be really neat to add to your gift too. Buy music, buying games online. Another one is you can get someone a subscription to some of the streaming services. You can get them a gift card to maybe a game, if they're a gamer, maybe a gift card or something, maybe even points on the service that they prefer. And there you go, kind of get you started in the right direction. All right, so let's go ahead and let's look at some of our recommended buying guides. So the big two that I have for you is the CNET and then Better Housekeeping. So we have Good Housekeeping. It's not Better Housekeeping, it's Good Housekeeping. All right, so here's the CNET, kind of more focused on tech stuff, kind of holiday gift guide. And its address is cnet.com. I'll post that in the chat there, so I can visit it too. All right, so holiday gift guides, and we kind of scroll down. Here's a big one here. They immediately start talking about the price range, $30, $50, under $100, gifts under $250 or so. And then you can actually choose kind of, if you want to, it just all depends on how you're, choosing your gift. You can actually go here and choose the, the type of person that would like something, age group, type, fan, here's foodies, bookworms, toy lovers, tabletop games, all kinds of stuff. So when we kind of scroll down, it talks about certain products. I'm going to go back up. I kind of got out of the thing there. So let's see our favorites. So great suggestions, Nintendo Switch. One of the Echoes that I talked about, usually these are pretty much on sale. The really good part about it is it's having Alexa open all the time. It'll play music. You can ask it, the weather. It'll come up with different news, and it will play videos now from YouTube as well. Okay. And you can do like a certain voice chat with it. It is a Wi-Fi device, so it just connects to your Wi-Fi at your house. A new phone could be a good idea. TV. I haven't tried one of these with myself, but the Roku is starting to push out that they have a sound bar. Someone that's a VR gamer. There's headphones. Here's the ones that they would recommend. Sometimes on these recommendations, they may not talk about price as much. You have to kind of see what the price is. There's an iPad like we talked about. Oh, it's kind of like a Lego truck. There you go, under 20 bucks. Guess you have to build it or something. Maybe a year subscription to one of the services. Here's one that's Disney Plus. We talked about Netflix or Hulu or something. There you go. And let's go back and we'll see our different prices. Oh, I think I am there. Hold on. So let's scroll down. Let's look at the gifts under $30. There you go. Amazon Fire Stick for the cord cutting. Some headphones. It's a smart clock, but I'll be honest, if I spent money on something that was just a clock, I'd recommend one of those Amazon shows because that's a clock as well. Headphones. Good recommendation of having a hot skillet. Okay. It's more kind of like cooking inside on your stove, kind of bringing the grilling experience to you. If you want kind of crispy parts of it, it's pretty cheap, easy to clean. It says here, mine gets used at least 2 times a night. Great gift. And if you get some that have raised, I guess you say lines on the inside, then when you cook your food, it'll have grill lines on it too. There's the Echo Dot that we talked about. So again, this is the Alexa that has a speaker built in. You can ask what time it is, or ask it anything because it's an Alexa. That's mainly what its goal is. But you could use this as a clock as well. There it is, the Express. But again, I really recommend the Roku probably above all the. I recommend the Roku above all the other cord cutting things, just because I've had a bunch of them. But do realize that I definitely would pay the $15 or $20 more to get one that has the power on the top of it here and turn the volume of your TV on and off. You can turn the TV on and off, turn the volume up and down. It's well worth it. Here's one of the Wise cameras. So if you're looking for kind of like a security camera in your house, or you could actually point it out the window as well. Pretty inexpensive. Put it near a window, point it outside, and it'll even alert you if there's any kind of motion that's going on. It'll record to itself like a 24-hour-a-day video recorder. Depends on how big a memory card you put in it, or it'll upload like movement to the Waze cloud for 5 seconds since it detected movement. These are those smart plugs. So this is one of the companies there. So if you do have the Show or one of those Alexa devices, you could set all this up and then give it a name, dining room light on and off. So then all you have to say is like, Alexa, turn off the dining room, and it will. Kind of like a new version of the clapper. Clap on, clap off. So instead of that, you just say, Alexa, turn the dining room on. Alexa, turn the dining room off. Something to that effect. And here's the batteries, kind of like we talked about earlier. For USB devices, cell phones, all kinds of stuff. You'll be a hero, trust me. You see the gifts under 50. There it is, the Echo Show. Talking about headphones. Roku Plus. I don't know what that is. It's like a socket or something. For soccer, excuse me. Coffee maker. Blue light blocking glasses. This is kind of a big movement of that. We look at a lot of screens and it has a blue haze to it. So these just kind of are yellow everything a little bit. Okay. Make it not look so blue. Supposed to make your eyes rest a little more. Here's a charger. Really good positive charger for your devices. There you go. Wireless keyboard. You could get one of these, plug in a laptop to a TV, use an HDMI, and then basically go wherever you wanted to. Scales. A lot of these scales are very interesting. There is a scale that Wise sells that's under $30 on Amazon right now. That's a good product. And you connect it up digitally and it will keep a track. All right, let's look at our better housekeeping. We'll kind of wrap our class up. So this is goodhousekeeping.com. This is a little bit more, I guess you'd say, softer side of gifts. Reusable metal straws. There you go. 3-in-1 charging station. That looks interesting, actually. It even holds a cell phone too. And talks about which model of the iPhone it works with. Oh, that's excellent. That would make a great gift because it already has the plug in there too. And then you're actually just setting your cell phone there and you can actually see it as well. Looks like it also charges the phone, the Apple Watches and stuff as too. Interesting. So that could be a good gift. $25 isn't bad. All right, let's look and see. What is this? It's about making forts. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. So just with some bed sheets, it's kind of like a, I won't say Richter set. I'm trying to remember what the childhood thing is. So this is making a big one. That's really neat. I like that idea a lot. And then the kids, all they need is they're making like an igloo. And the kids, all they need is just some bed sheets. And then boom, they've made their own fort. Okay. It's a great idea. Concept, trying to figure out what that was before we actually saw it was kind of odd. So as you see, they have different categories. Kids, boys, teens. photos of Star Wars. Best gifts for your brother. Any budget. It's cozies for your drink. That's kind of silly. All right, best gifts under 20 bucks. Let's look at that. Broken up into categories. So, lots of great ideas. Star Wars stuff. That's fun. All right, so lots of great ideas. So we have our tech ideas. We have our little bit softer side ideas. There you go, right there. All right, so we have covered a lot this afternoon. So we're going to go ahead and start wrapping up class here. So here's some other online retailer recommendations. Amazon, of course, Price Grabber to kind of check your prices. eBay's on there, the reviews, and there's our holiday gift guides and everything. Okay? So let's talk about what we've covered. We've talked about laptops and notebooks, Ultrabooks, iPads, Android tablets, Windows tablets, or the Surface Reader, the Surface tablets and laptop, ebook reader, digital cameras, what types, flash drives, portable hard drives, streaming devices, free HD digital TV from the antenna, and also we talked about our recommended websites as well. So we covered a lot this afternoon, didn't we? So if you have any questions, we'll start wrapping class up. All right, so I'll tell a little bit about some of the classes we have coming up next week. So next week, we're only going to be teaching for 2 days because Thanksgiving will be on Thursday. So Tuesday, the 24th, we're going to be doing eBay and Facebook Marketplace, internet buying and selling at 2:30. Okay, come join me for that. On the 25th, we're going to have our double back-to-back Thanksgiving themed classes. On the 25th at 11 o'clock, we're going to be doing Let's Make a Turkey Feather Catch Game. So come join me for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then at 2:30, we're going to be doing Thanksgiving Scratch. Let's draw and animate a turkey. So we'll be dealing with vectors. We're going to be drawing our turkey from scratch. Gobble, 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 gobble. Recording my voice doing gobble, 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 gobble. And then we'll also make our turkey dance and click on it so it's interactive and stuff. So we'll learn about drawing with vectors on that one. Of course, our other one we'll learn about doing some scratch coding to be able to get our turkey feather catch game to work. On a side note, this is probably a great time. Maybe get an Amazon Fire device for one of your family members or something that's compatible with Libby, one of the other Android tablets, or of course a mini iPad or something. But now would be a great time to do that. We've switched over from RB Digital to Libby. So how do I get my free ebooks from the library? All you need to do is download Libby, have your library card, search that says what library you with. Don't say Evans, don't say Grovetown, and don't say Harlem. Say Greater Clarksville Regional Library System, and then it'll give you some choices and choose Georgia download destination. Enter your library card and you're good to go to download and borrow books. On a side note, our libraries are open with limited services and hours. Curbside holds pickup is available. You can go to gchrl.org for details or call into the library with questions Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Right now we're doing a subscribe drive, and if we can get 100 people to subscribe to our YouTube channel, we can get our own customized YouTube address. Or search YouTube for GCHRL videos and you'll find our channel. All right. Well, that does it today for our class. Thank you for joining me. It was wonderful having you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays early. Thinking about the gifts and everything. And good luck on upcoming Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I guess we should say. Again, if you want to look back about my other class that we did this week, the internet shopping and digital couponing, we talk about Black Friday and Cyber Monday a lot and how to find our deals and once you find your product, how to find a good place to get a good deal for them, okay? So I definitely recommend looking back at those. So thank you for joining me today. You guys have a great afternoon. That does it for our last class of this week. So I'll see everybody on Tuesday and Wednesday. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Thanksgiving is coming. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.